he
Yes,
talks
the
about
land of the free, home of the
how
brave
many
has
people
not
are
only the highest
actually
number of
in prison.
prisoners, but also
And it's
followed by China
2.1
at
million
1.7
prisoners.
million, Brazil at 800,000, Russia at
And he talks about
500,000, and
how
India at around
followed by
470,000.
China.
But these
And he
numbers
talks
can't.
about this
的监狱
because
是什么样的监狱？这我们这儿确确实
if
实
you
就是个
actually
培
were
训中心。
to,
Some
it's funny. It's a misnomer that America is the biggest in prison, because prison is a form of slavery. It really is. In slavery,
that because I did not want to give the prison officials the satisfaction.
Crossing with.
According to an unclassified summary of the March Intelligence Assessment, the two most lethal elements of the domestic violence extremist threat are racially.
But they key in a locker, so.
contrary to what people say, or the isolation of black or African slaves here in America, it's a worldwide, ubiquitous phenomenon. In every society, every corner has some form, because if you go to war with somebody and you take them over, typically you got to kill all the adult males if you don't put them to work and put them in internment camps. It's fucked up. We haven't been, in our lifetime, we haven't been with somebody at that kind of war, like the Russia and Ukraine, or like the old school war where you have to intern your enemies. But you extrapolate that down and it becomes an economic interest. How are you going to assemble enough people to build whatever the hell you're trying to build? In America, like I said, it once the factory goes away, what replaces it? And this is what replaces it.
estimates put the number of Uyghurs locked up in these training centers.
China actually has way more prisoners. If you include all those people that are detained against their will, and what they call is political re-education, right? And it basically takes who they would consider social parasites, and takes them out of society. That's what happens when you have Marxism. Because
at 1
read
million.
Marx, and he talks
And
about
I
a lot
highly
about
doubt
who
this
needs to
1
be
million,
removed
or
from
whatever the
society.
real number is, of vocational trainees are included in their prisoner statistics.
Vocational
And if that's the
training.
case, China
All
could
this
easily
stuff is
overtake the
euphemism.
US for the most humans imprisoned. Definitely doesn't take away from the US's giant prison population, but still
It
important to
doesn't.
keep in mind. But why? What's the point of having
The issue with our prison system that is just morally bereft is the fact that it's opportunistic. It basically takes the people who can't defend themselves, who don't have money, the vulnerable people, through two like siphons that bring you to a prison sentence, which are the cash bond system, because you're not going to take a fucking a plea bargain if you're out on bail. Possibly, you at least have that option of, okay, I'm washing my socks in a goddamn sink here, drinking shots of coffee with warm water in a goddamn county jail. County jails can get a little rough too, because you got all the people kind of mixed together, and it's hot, it's loud, it's fucked up. They put you in dorms a lot of times if you're like a low security offender. And this shit can get wild, and like in the bathrooms, dudes are boxing and butt fucking. Sometimes you run into that kind of stuff, but you have that of sitting in jail while your case is being heard, and then you also have the having a lawyer and having the ability to also grease political wheels, because a lot of the people who are like, they call it white privilege. There's all types of people of different skin colors that have privilege. America, we have a lot of white people, and white people did have a big racist advantage at one point. That's diminishing. The returns on that are diminishing way much. But what you have is a financial privilege in America's prison system.
having all these people held in
That's
captivity
bogus.
that you have to
That's
feed,
bogus.
manage, and somewhat provide for? Simple.
That
It's
if
pretty
you don't have
profitable
money, basically,
for almost all the parties involved.
And I've been on
And
the
at least
back
in
end
the
of it. I'm
US's
white.
case, this business, this
Clearly.
pipeline, if you want to call it that, starts at the street level.